My name is Dan Martin, and I'm an associate professor in the English department. And today I'm going to talk to you about a project that I use to increase collaboration and engagement in my Hyflex and online classes. I'm teaching these classes in the Samuelson room, the 132, and I oftentimes have students zooming into class, and then I have students in class. And I had a difficult time trying to keep them on the same page. So what I started to do was have students lead the discussions, and I created a Google slide for the class so that before each class, students can post their discussion questions to the Google Slides, and then all of us can work through those questions together. And that was a really good way to keep my students on Zoom and in the classroom on the same page. And it also, again, allowed students to have more autonomy and control over the direction of the class time. I also used Menti slides. Menti slides are a little bit different than Google Slides because they kind of function like a quiz or a survey. And in the Menti slides, I'll ask a question, and then they'll all answer the question online, and then I can pull up the answers on one screen so we can see how all the students answered a question or responded to a survey. Students answer it, and it's anonymous. It just has response 1, response 2. You can do like a word cloud. For example, I have a question where I ask them, when I say metacognition, what comes to your mind? And they'll all post their comments, and I can pull that up in a word cloud in class. I'll put up the discussion questions on all the screens, and then I'll keep the discussion questions on the front screen, and then I'll move the TV screens to Zoom so that the students in the class can see the Zoom students online and hear them a little bit better. And I can also take the camera, say a student in the classroom is talking, I can zoom in on that table or that student while they're speaking so that the Zoom students can see and hear that student a little bit better, and that's helped with engagement. The Samuelson building's been extremely effective for utilizing this approach to teaching. So as soon as I started using this method, I noticed the students in class were connected and asking questions to the students on Zoom and vice versa. And students were excited about that because they felt like they weren't lost. If you can't hear perfectly or you can't see perfectly, you have access to the slides, and we have a transcript running on the Zoom so you can read what the students are saying. But the key is that you know we're working from these questions and we're on this slide or slide 2 or slide 3. And we talked about good questions. I modeled good discussion questions, sort of the expectations for what makes a good discussion question. Throughout the course, you start to notice about week 5, the questions really start to sharpen up. One of the biggest equity issues was, are all the students getting a chance to speak, to ask questions, to get their questions engaged? And I think before, the methods I was using wasn't allowing that to happen. So this way, every student posts a question. It counts as a grade. It's a part of the class. So the questions are posted before class. We work through all of the questions to the best of our ability. So again, that allows all student voices to be heard.